final battle that Moshe would lead as commander-in-chief was the battle against Midian. And in this war, Moshe commands Elef Lamateh, Elef Lamateh. Each tribe should have 2,000 men go out to war. In other words, 24,000 men, which the commentaries point out, corresponding to the 24,000 that were killed by the hands of the Midianites, we're going to have 24,000 men. Some of the Mefarshim are bothered. Why exactly are we only sending out 24,000 men? The Midianites are numerous. Wouldn't we want to send out all eligible soldiers? But the Ramban, the Or HaChaim all point out that there was something more spiritual that was happening here, that the individuals that needed to go out to war had to be morally pure. They had to be ones who didn't sin, didn't succumb to temptation by the event at Baal Peor, and that's why it was only 24,000 men. But perhaps the most unique, fascinating point that is found in one of the commentaries is an idea by the Baal HaTurim. Yes, it's true that Moshe sent out Elef Lamateh, Elef Lamateh, but it sounds like, in addition to that, that none of the Nesiim, none of the princes went out to war. What happened to the Nesiim? Why didn't they go out? Baal HaTurim explains that one Nasi from the Shvatim was missing, and that was the Nasi from Shevet Shimon. Zimri was no longer around. Why? Because Pinchas had just killed him, from the story at Baal Peor. Says the Baal HaTurim, Moshe intentionally told the Nesiim not to go, or he didn't ask them to go. Why? Because it would be embarrassing to the tribe of Shimon if all the Nesiim would go out except for theirs, because they didn't have a Nasi. So just to spare a little bit of embarrassment, a little bit of kavod habrios, Moshe didn't ask any of the Nesiim to go to war. And it's fascinating because Zimri was a chote, he was a sinner. He didn't deserve our respect for what he did. But yet Moshe said, it doesn't matter what you've done. It doesn't matter your sins. It doesn't matter your past. Any additional embarrassment, any shame is just unnecessary. And for that, Moshe says, don't send them to war. And such a powerful lesson for each and every one of us. There are times when we feel slighted, or even times when we make mistakes, and people want to get back at us, or we want to get back at others. We may feel shame, but there's no reason to add on to the shame, to make us feel worse for what we did, or to make someone else feel even more shame. Just that little bit of shame, even if it's deserving, is unnecessary. It's a lack of kavod habrios. And during the period of the 3 weeks, of which has begun since last week, it's important for us to remember the value of relationships. Yes, not all relationships are perfect. There are ups and downs, there's struggles, there's anger, there's frustrations. But it doesn't give us the right, when we get angry at another person or disappointed in another, to continue to beat them down, even if it's justified. That's what Moshe is reminding us about, the importance of kavod habrios. So yes, now is the time for us to continue to strengthen in our relationships, to have that avas chinam, that love for one another, respect for one another. And by doing so, we will play our part to help rebuild the Beis HaMikdash, to get to the point where we are deserving of having another Beis HaMikdash, because we understand the importance of the respect, the kavod habrios that each person deserves, even if they may not be always worthy of it. Have a wonderful Shabbos.